She's tired, so.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Those
There
call
we go.
all
There
come.
we go. You're just letting them all in. Yeah. There you go. I think I can do it too now.
Yeah. I just
Yep,
made you the host.
And if they continue to come in, I'll just let them in too. Awesome. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's a great Friday. Okay, we have so many great stories happening on this team. You guys are like, I'm seeing the excitement up here in North Dakota. All I see is lights when I look south. So there is a lot of goodness happening on this team with health testimonies, with financial testimonies, like so many great things are happening already, and you're just kind of getting started. So what I'll do is I will actually, because there's more people coming in, I'm just going to, I will mute them all. And then whoever wants to talk, please just unmute yourself. Would you guys do that? I think that we're able to do it that way. Okay, hang on. Let's let the rest of these, let's let the rest of our friends in. They're knocking on the door. Here they come, I think. I think we got everybody in now for now. Awesome. There's so many great testimonies, but Madison, we probably should just start with you and maybe Ann, because we have a special guest, Ann, on here tonight. We love Ann. Ann's my neighbor up here in Minnesota, over here to the east, because I'm up in North Dakota. So I'd love to hear first, of course, from Madison, because you are the fearless leader of this great group of people. And then maybe from Ann, because Ann hasn't been with us on one of these yet, I don't believe. And so this is a really honor to have her here tonight with us. So let's go.
I'm excited. Well, Ann, nice to meet you. I know we were trying to talk, so it's really nice to meet you, and hopefully we can talk offline after this. But let's see, is there a password? Oh, let me pull it up, and then
you know what? I always make my password. I always make it like 2023. You know why I do that?
Oh, you know what? I got to do this. Why don't someone else talk, and then let me get that for her, and then I'll talk, because I do have a really cool story about a trafficking survivor that we stuck the X39 on. So,
oh my gosh,
talk about that. So
I can't
let me get the password for her.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I got. Let me admit all these people back in. Okay, so with that being said, Heidi, why don't you go first? Because I'm letting Ann back in the room here. So.
All right. So my name's Heidi Wanty. I live in Minnesota. Ann, who's going to be hopping. Oh, Ann's on now. Ann is actually my host. She got me started on this. I was very skeptical because we'd been doing other things together, and I was like, I'm not going to do another one of these. And I'm so thankful that I did. Thank you, Ann. I see you there. I actually accidentally answered the phone from her. I really wasn't planning on it, but boy, am I thankful I did. And I have just had such amazing things happening with my body. Started out with, I had whiplash in a car accident in 2001 and ended up with severe whiplash for the last 20 plus years. And I just figured I had to live with that pain, 8 to 10 every day. And we patched me with the ice wave. And within seconds, I was doing things that I wasn't able to do before. And that was even before we started using the X39. And now I can garden, I can twist, I can do everything. When I would do it before, I would get like a twinge and it would be there for 10 to 15 minutes, if not longer. And I was doing things the other day. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not like even hurting. So it's been so amazing in that way. And that's just one of many, but I'm going to stop here and I'll share more at another time. So
awesome. I love it. Thank you.
See the password while I'm on. So I would have to get off to see the password.
Can I just see what it is on my phone?
Yeah. Actually, I could have looked on my Telegram, I guess.
Here, let me just look real quick. I'll just tell you it. It's right here. It is. See if we can just.
I'll type it in the chat while you
type it in the chat. That's good. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? Here it is. It is. Oh, it doesn't look like appears to be a password. So if they just click on that link, it should just come directly in because there's no password on mine.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There's no password.
So maybe just send it to her again or text it to her again. So
okay. Hey guys, it would be there's a meeting ID and a password, but on that link, it won't show it. So, and for some reason, her, the equipment that she's using it from, I think it's her iPad, she can't get the link on her iPad. So
Yeah,
but she has to
tell her
put
to
in
use
the
her
meeting
phone if
ID and
she's-
password.
Ask her if she's got a phone. Just use your iPhone.
She
Yeah.
does, and it's not working either. So
Can you
never mind.
imagine?
The good
Hold
news
on.
is we,
Oh,
Fry
we
your
are,
skin.
never mind, never mind.
okay. I was gonna
Absolutely
say we are
fry
recording
it.
it too. So remember that anybody who is on right now, let me mute all of you. If you just came in, you can mute yourself. Actually, that'd be really great. That way we don't have to hear to the dogs barking or eating or maybe you peeing. let's, let's keep it clean. All right, guys. So let's get this party started. So thank you so much for sharing that, Heidi. Ann, are you available to speak for a minute? And then we'll get back over to Madison. And I want to hear from Stacie and her beautiful mama. I saw she made it to the party. We love all the people at the party that we can get here. So that's good. Are you on, Ann? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're sketchy, lady. No, but
Not
not really. Okay, you're off. I'm cutting you real quick. You're not getting in right now. Madison, you go next. And you come back to that when you get better cell service. Get to the top of the hill.
Seriously, it's the technology. There, listen, I always get interrupted anytime I'm doing something that God wants me to do. Like it'll get watched as we continue to do these. It's gonna get like crazy. So just pre-warning. So
Yeah.
anyway, I came off an extraction. I don't even know what day it is at this point. When was it? 2 weeks ago, a week ago, whenever my last extraction was coming off of it, and we rescue, all types of ages and kids. We don't ever put things on children just because you're branding them, and some of them have already been branded for different reasons. But we had rescued this twin, actually boy and girl twins, that were taken from CPS and should have never been removed from the home. So just kind of like a crazy situation. Reunited them with the mom, but we've been working with them, and because of everything that they've gone through, there was like a lot of pain and a lot of trauma. And so we put, oh, hello, and you guys mute?
Yep, keep going.
that
I'm gonna
me?
mute Heidi. I'm muting all you guys. If you start talking, I'm muting you. So I don't take any offense to it. We just want to be able to hear who's supposed to be talking. Go ahead.
So we asked, because they are teenagers, and so, we want them to have a voice. And so because of all of the trauma that their body went through, and I can't get into all of it, but we asked them if they wanted to start these patches, and they've already seen a difference. They weren't sleeping through the night. They've been working with trauma therapists and everything else. And so the X39, they were going to start some other patches, because we were like, because they are kids, and we needed the consent of the mom, right? So even the mom's like, oh my gosh, this is working for them. I want to try it. And so it's amazing, because sometimes, yes, we can get kids into med beds depending on the trauma, but that is like few and far between and really hard to do, just depending if they're, if there's death or what, just a lot. So anyway, it's an amazing thing, because the mom agreed, and we were like, I was hesitant, because again, you have to be very careful about branding and putting things on them, because it is a sticker. It could technically mentally go into their head as branding. But now these kids are so excited about it, because they're sleeping and feeling better already. So we're going to try different patches. I've been working with the mom. So it's just an amazing testimony that they do work. And even with kids, again, you can try with your own kids. I know we can't technically say, hey, yes, you can do it, but listen, it's not a shot. And with these twins, the doctors wanted to give them 1 million shots, and we have to fight these hospitals. Like, we're going in and we're like, first of all, before we found the mom, we don't know if they have any allergies to anything. They're just wanting to jab them. And so we're literally fighting them, like, do not touch them. Don't put anything in their body. So the fact that the mom even trusted us enough to be able to do this is a huge, just like, testimony in itself. So it's kind of a praise report, if you want to call it that. I hate like the religious,
No, it is a praise report. It is a praise report.
Yeah, so I think that's good. And as we move forward, I mean, we are rescuing kids. Sometimes we do rescue women that have kids. And so we want to get to a place where this is something that we can offer them, where they don't have to pay for, because it can get expensive. So this is really the reason that I'm doing this. I was telling Stacie and I were talking about this, the MLS, however you call it, the MLS. I'm like, I'm not doing it. You know how many times people have asked me to do Arbonne and all this other stuff? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I started doing it because of my trauma and health issues. And now it's like night and day. Even my energy level is night and day. So, that's why I decided to do this. This is, you don't have to like this model. That's okay. But again, the reason that I'm doing it is to help these kids and really to build more safe houses and different things. And we can do more extractions, because aftercare for these kids are expensive. It's not just a patch, it's mental health and everything else, but this can start their healing in their internal body because of all the trauma that they've gone through. So
wow, amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for your heart to serve these children, and thank you, God, for David Schmidt inventing this patch that is so easy to use, non-invasive, non-transferable, right? There's nothing transferring from the body. It's not like an injection, like the needles or pills or the biochemicals that they want to give them. This is simply their own body light, their own body's light activating this patch. So what a huge testimony. That is a praise report. Thank you. Ann Jensen, can you hear us now? Let's see if she went to the top of the hill in her car. Unmute yourself, Ann.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, girl.
Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
All right, we're at an open. I'll speak fast. Awesome. Since I've been in about 6 months, we keep having lots and lots of testimonies. So my latest one was 2 nights ago. My husband's tore a muscle or sprained a muscle, and I came home and he was his leg was on ice. So he's like, "Give me a patch," and so I put on a brown ice wave and a carnosine and then an Eon, and pretty good. It was just like it was good. He said 97% better. So that was pretty fun because I'd never done that. But I just look up in my little book where I look up things. Probably my best one was 3 days before I actually agreed to look at LifeWave because I had bucked it for 3 weeks. So I was not going to do another network marketing company. Same story. And so I had my grip in my left hand, but I couldn't, and I teach guitar. And 9 days after the patch, that was completely restored. So I'm talking, I couldn't open a jar. I couldn't use open a faucet. So it was amazing, just that. And then I lost 50 pounds. So I had a lot of extra skin on my face. And so just tell me that I look like about 30 now. Just tell me that.
Come on.
So it was pretty, it was pretty fun. The skin. I mean, I saw a night-day difference in my neck and stuff. So that was fun. It's just constantly a bunch of little things happening between my husband and I. So we're so sold. We love it.
And Ann, you got a huge team. So it's not just what's happening for you. You're a fire starter, lady. I know that. And so you used to get to see these miracles every single day with your team.
Well, my favorite one is Julie, my neighbor, who was walked without sticks yesterday for 100 feet for the first time.
In 6 years.
6 years without a stick. Yes. That was I watched that video so many times. I'm just like so moved. So
yeah, you guys, if you haven't seen that, Julie has MS and has had it sounds like for a couple decades. And Ann had her on the patch. I think she's been on it now 5 months. Ann can correct me if when she unfreezes, but 5 months. And and then once you know it, she threw the sticks down. I mean, it was just amazing. She's like, I'm going to go without these sticks. And she threw them on the ground. And when she got to the end of the 100 feet, she said, I have not walked without my sticks in 6 years. And I mean, I haven't walked that far. Like, I mean, you guys got to go watch the video. It's in our Facebook group. It is something. When you say, like, the first time I watched it, I cried. Like, I feel what you feel, Ann, because I'm watching that and like, hallelujah, praise God. Like, this is for real. Like this patch is working for so many people. So we love it. We can't tell you it's going to treat, cure, prevent any disease, but we know God is amazing, and he created our bodies to heal. And that's all. Because when you put the patch on, it just helps to remove those blocks of stuck energy, stuck emotion, stuck scar tissue, stuck nerve problems, whatever. It just helps to remove that and open up that flow so that the body can do what it was designed to do, which is to heal. So that's what happens. Somebody said, where is it? I have MS and I walk with a cane. Well, let's just show the video. Let me just show you the video. Let me pull it up. Let me find it here. And any other stories you want to share while I'm pulling that up? Or did we lose Ann?
Is Dee Dee on here? And then Jill, I know that you had before, so I want to see how it's going for you too. And I know Dee Dee had mentioned something. So I don't know, Jill, if you want to tell us, not to put you on the spot, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Oh, should I go or?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I enrolled my 80-year-old mom. She just started today, X39 and the carnosine, and she's really excited. I like today I have no hot flashes, which is praise Jesus.
That's right. Hello.
And also, you know, God works in amazing ways. I work with special needs children, and the other day I work through the video now. I used to work in person, but because, well, make a long story short, because of COVID, they actually like transitioned us so that we could work through video. Actually works better because the parents have to be on more responsible, but that's a whole other story in itself. But I talked to this mom who's a believer, and I sent her all the information. She asked me, Jill, you know, what can I do for my son that's natural? And I sent her the information on this. And it was so awesome, like how God, and I went to a craniosacral therapist who's a Christian on Monday, like same thing, like God is bringing people into my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love craniosacral therapy. It's one of my fave.
Yeah. But just because I work with special needs children, I love these children so much. You have no idea. Like I love these children, and I want, like, I don't believe in, like, I hate diagnoses. I hate when they put labels on them.
Me too.
And I just want them to be helped so much. So God put that in my path this week with this Christian mom, and I'm very excited, and I'm excited my mom's on board. I'm on board. I feel really good. I've been sharing. I've sent links to so many people this week.
Amazing.
So,
That's
yeah.
how you get the word out, baby. You just keep going. You're planting seeds. I always say every good seed planted on fertile soil will reap a harvest.
Right. And to be honest, like, so God has led me into the fashion industry because I actually, that's what he put in my heart. And I was like, I wasn't planning on doing anything else. Whatever he wants me to do, that's fine. But he's put me into the fashion industry to put his logo, because he gave me a vision. I'm going, his logo is going to replace all the pedophile and crappy logo in the fashion industry right now, right? Dior,
Wow.
Chanel, all this crap, right? And I have a designer I'm working with, and Madison, I'm sending you a t-shirt.
Love it.
I don't go to church.
I don't either, but I love God.
It's the t-shirt says, I don't go to church, I am the church. God, the Holy Spirit gave me
I want that shirt.
Can I get that shirt too? Can you get my address? Just put a Venmo link in here and we'll just send you the cash.
Yes,
Get it shipped out. Amen.
Where's the website? I'll promote it. Please send
Well,
that to
yeah, I'm working on that. I need help with this. So anyone that can send me help, you know, I'm still working on this, but my point in all this is that I didn't, it wasn't my, like, I wasn't planning on this, but then God put this in my, you know, in my path. And since that time, it's been exploding. So I thank you, everyone, you know, for being here. And I love all of you. I just thank you for this community. I thank you for, you know, we're all brothers and sisters in Christ.
Amen. Amen, sister. I love it. Thank you for sharing. You're a lighthouse.
Yes.
I got a feeling you're going to sell a lot of those t-shirts. Make them in tank tops too, because I always wear tank tops in the summer in North Dakota because we only have like a month of summer up here. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night. Tell your mom we're praying for that. She does well in the past. She will. Of course she will. How about Stacie? Stacie, can you unmute yourself? First of all, we got to celebrate Stacie because she's got the whole fam bam on this thing. They're all having tremendous results. In addition to that, she went manager. So she's actually, manager means she's sponsored 4 people, which is the first kind of goal with this business. So she's earned some income already, which is fun, Stacie, to see that coming in, right?
Don't worry, I
and-
spent it today on
Yeah, she
patches.
spent it today, you know, and so I always like it's Madison's heart and Madison's mission. I'm like, Madison, we need to get you making a lot of money, girl, because I know how big your heart is for these children and all the work that you do. So, Stacie, give us an update on what's going on at your neck of the woods in your house.
Well, I had the biggest day ever. Okay, let me just start by saying I always said I would never, ever, 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 ever be in management. So I'm here manager. But yes, in one day I signed on 3 people. And so that made me manager. Thanks to mom. She was my 4th one. This is Winola, guys, if y'all don't know her.
Go, Mom.
So she signed up as gold and she's loving it so far. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. It was fun. I didn't have time to do anything all day. And so the past 2 days I've been playing catch up. So I
Yeah.
haven't done much with the business since the past 2 days, but
But it's an easy
I
business.
did notice something today. I looked at my feet and I've had these like dark brown spots. I mean, like the whole foot is on the top of it. I mean, it's brown. And my doctor said, I went to her 3 months ago and she said, that's like a tattoo. You'll never get rid of it. Well, I looked down and on one foot, it's almost completely gone.
Oh.
And the other foot, it's still there a little bit, but I go see her on Monday for a follow-up and I'm going to take my shoes off and stick my feet in her face.
And take a patch along. To put a patch right on top of that brown spot, baby. So she says, what's that patch? Glad you asked. Glad you asked.
Right. But mom has really got the best testimony.
I do.
It's crazy.
First of all, I had carpal tunnel surgery in January, still had no feeling in 3 fingers. And yesterday I noticed on the one day that I didn't wear my patch, I noticed that the feeling is coming back in my fingers. I didn't wear a patch yesterday because I wore one for 24 hours accidentally.
Yeah.
And so yesterday I went to my volunteer work and
What you do?
Noticed I had my patch on.
Sure,
and didn't bring one with me. Anyway, long story short, the one day I did not wear my patch, my blood sugar went crazy.
Wow.
It went crazy.
God.
It was up, down, all around. It was nuts. And I got it back on. And when I got it back on, it started leveling out again. So I know for a fact that these patches help your blood sugar regulate.
Wow.
It's
I
amazing.
love it. Just bringing balance to the body. And again, individual results may vary, but I mean, I see it a lot too. Not only with type 2 diabetes, but also type 1. I've got a ton of those stories. In fact, I make a joke with my friend John. I'm like, is your pancreas coming back? Like, how could you get off? I'm like, we know these stem cells like regenerate things. I'm like, did it regenerate your pancreas? Like, how could you possibly be on 1/4 of your diabetes medications when he hasn't made a change in like 20 years with his diabetes medications?
Exactly.
Right.
So when we see things like that, it does get pretty exciting and we do get pretty hopeful. Like, I'm like, what if that pancreas is coming back? So,
Yeah.
really great things with type 2 and type 1, which I've honestly, being a health coach, I've never seen it in 25 years, the things that are happening with the type 1 diabetics in this, with the patch.
Right.
So very impressive to me.
Well,
So
I've
simple.
heard that you could turn type 2 around, and I'm believing that maybe we can.
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Well,
I've
she
seen
is
it
saying
done
that
over and
type
over.
1.
Oh yeah. I've seen type 2 be reversed over and over and over. That's
Cool.
what I did up here in
crazy.
North Dakota. I get everybody out their drugs. Now we got an option to put them on the patches though, which is so much fun because it's a solution that's easy, it's affordable, and really everybody can do it. It's not hard work ripping the back of should we all put our patches on? If you don't got a patch on right now, it's not hard to rip the back of that patch off, is it, you guys? Like,
Right.
it's
right.
the easiest thing you're gonna do. So super
Right.
great, girls. Hey, I appreciate you giving your updates and testimony. You're amazing ladies. Keep up the great patching over there. Who else do we have that is gonna talk tonight? Madison.
Oh, well, okay. Dee Dee's on, and then let's see who else. I don't know if Keith or Lisa or let's see, Lucy. I don't know who's used them because I have to go look. 'Cause I'm like, let's see. I know that
Did she get her patches over on the Big Island yet?
No, she's struggling to get them over there.
Why is it taking so long?
I don't know. She's she's been trying to reach out to customer service, and she was actually, I gave her a couple names because Stacie does such a good job of knowing who to contact over there. So
Awesome. Well, you're taking care of it. Awesome. Perfect. Well, let's move into the presentation. Unless somebody else wants to talk, then raise your hand. And if you have questions while we go through it, I think anybody, please just unmute yourself and ask questions. We want this to be definitely very interactive.
I just want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Me, Lisa. I had tried these a couple of weeks ago. Somebody had said something and I got them on eBay or somewhere. And then as soon as I saw Madison was doing it, I wanted to support her. So I just got them all today, as a matter of fact.
Amazing.
But I dropped my thyroid medicine, just cold turkey, about 3 weeks ago. My doctor, functional, like cool, super guy, basically said, you have to take this Synthroid and all this other stuff. And of course, that means my thyroid will stop once it realizes. So I told him I simply will not. And I haven't told him about these patches yet, but I'm running it up here and praying, because I believe God fixes everything. I'm a big follower of Jesus. So I will report back when I'm going to do a blood test in like a month and go see him and take a box of them with me and hopefully set him up under us. So
yeah, that's a great idea. I love
Lisa-
that. I love that. And just like I tell everybody who's got any thyroid stuff, because I talk thyroid stuff a lot of times. I would say definitely the patch X39. I know Madison has tried the energy enhancer. Right there it is, white on the right, tan on the left on either side. You can do that. And the other suggestion I give is if you ever had any, if you have hypothyroidism or have any growths on your thyroid, which I guess almost everybody does, you can actually get rid of those naturally by rubbing a little castor oil on your neck a few times a day. So that's my big suggestions with thyroid, but we've seen amazing thyroid testing. And again, individual results may vary. I'm not going to tell you it's going to treat, cure, prevent any disease. But as you said, Lisa, I do believe that God designed our bodies to heal. So we're just kind of trying to align as best as we can with that. And the miracles are happening. So very exciting.
Renita,
I thought I would go ahead.
Do you want to let Keith go real quick? Because he's under me too. He said he had.
Yes, Keith, go. I talked to Keith this week. Oh, Keith, you have to unmute yourself. Ask to unmute. Hit the, there you go.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Okay, so yeah, so I have a few testimonies about the ice wave. I go to massage therapist quite regularly, and I've been seeing this particular one for probably 15 years. And she said my back has never been this loose in all the years that I've been seeing her. I only used it for 2 days, just on the back of my neck. Secondly, my oldest daughter, first day of the month, or not, well, anyways, for you women, she's always been bedridden. She went out shopping with us, never had any pain.
Wow.
And then my wife hasn't been able to lift her right arm above her head or above her shoulder for about 5 months. She put the patches on. 30 minutes later, she lifted up her arm to do something. She's like, "Oh, there's no pain."
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. And then an animal story. This is going to sound kind of crazy. Her horse that was literally walking on 3 feet, one foot from his front left foot down. Put the ice wave patch on him for 3 days. He's now walking perfectly fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on,
So,
praise God.
absolutely incredible.
I love it. Hey, Keith, I was at a meeting last night in a small town in North Dakota called Bowman, North Dakota, population like 1,500. And we were
Yes,
at
I was watching.
Yeah, we were at the community center. And so there was did you guys watch to the very end? There was a horse scale there that has been using these on her horses. And she literally, one of the horses got bit by a rattlesnake. She showed everybody the picture of this rattlesnake bite, which is crazy. Do you guys know that horses can live from a rattlesnake bite, unlike a human, because their blood stops at their feet? I guess it doesn't circulate like it does with humans. They have to move the feet to move the blood. Anyway, and so she showed us the picture of the rattlesnake bite, like day 1, day 3, day 5, day 7. It was remarkable. Anyway, this woman, she's kind of a horse whisperer gal. She uses the yesterday, 2 people in one day used the AccuLife, which is the horse patch, on the humans, and they're having tremendous results. And I'm thinking, maybe I got to bust out the horse patch, right? But she actually has been using it on her horses. I think she said she's been part of LifeWave since like 2018 or 17. So she's been using them a long time on her horses, and that's kind of what she does for a living. So we hear the horse stuff all the time. So Keith, thank you for sharing all of that. It's
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Keith has an amazing heart to serve as well. I visited with him a little bit this week. So gosh, so many great stories. I don't have, let me stop the share and then screen share with you guys. I don't have, can you see that lady right there?
Yes.
Unfortunately, for whatever reason, I just don't think I can actually pull the sound up for whatever reason. Let me see. Can you hear this? Raven, if you can hear it. No. Okay. You're not gonna be able to hear it. So here's the lady at the beginning, but I'll show you where to find it. Here's her sticks. Like Ann said, Ann's next door neighbor, apparently she's had this for 6 years. Oh, she's had MS for over 20, it sounded like, but she hasn't walked for 6 years without the sticks. And so she's basically saying, here's my sticks. She doesn't go anywhere without them, she says. She needs them to walk. She doesn't use them at her house a little bit, but other than that, she uses them. She's going to see how far she can go, she said. And so there goes the sticks.
Wow.
And she says at one point in the video, it's not pretty, but she walks about 100 feet, you guys. It's just, it's like you talk about freedom, everybody's definition of freedom. This woman walking without those sticks. Imagine not ever walking outside without these sticks for 6 years. And then today, this day, yesterday, 2 days ago, when Ann filmed this of her, she stops for a second, grounds herself, goes again, goes 100 feet. Anyway, you can go listen to the video yourself and see the sound. This is the name of the Facebook group. You can join it. Just make sure that when you go there to join it, you put that, who invited you? Madison. Right, Madison, so that we know that you're on Madison's team. Okay, because I got so many people joining that from all over the world that are not on my team. I want to make sure you guys are on my team. Okay. All right. Any other questions about that? Good stuff though, isn't it? When we're seeing people with MS, are you kidding me? Like, this is for real. I'm like, hey, we're not making any claims, but I will tell you this, like my son Bo says, you don't have to explain miracles. People, when they see them, they just get it, right? Like, it's like, I don't have to explain a whole lot of what's going on there. I don't know. I'm not a physio scientist or anything like that, but it looks like she's walking without those sticks today. So, you know, I always tell people I have a CSD, common sense degree. Anyway, I did go back to school to become to get my doctorate in holistic nutrition, and I never finished it. I just learned enough to make me incredibly dangerous. And so what happened was, now I see what's happened in the world in the last, 4 years. And I'm like, wow, like, it's so important to have common sense and be critical thinking with your mind. So let's go. So I'm going to share with you the presentation, and you guys all have access to this presentation. Let me pull back here. Where'd it go? Hang on a second. I'm sorry. Let me stop the share and get that back up there. And so this presentation is actually in our Facebook group. So for any of you that really want to present to somebody, let's say you say, Renita, I want to share that presentation with, a family member, or I've got a group of church people that I'd love to share it with. This thing is spreading like wildfire. So I really encourage you to share with whoever you're thinking about, because if you don't sponsor your friends and family, someone is definitely going to do it. So we will go, let me unpin Keith there. Thanks, Keith, for your testimony. I appreciate you. All right, so I got started with this just a little over a year ago. That's my beautiful Mamacita Momita. Her name is Pearl. And my mom, a gift from God, just an awesome woman. She actually was diagnosed with Parkinson's about 5.5 years ago. And the reason I got started on the patches is a friend of mine out of Canada. She's a nurse, actually. She's been a nurse for 20 years up there. And she kind of busted out of the medical establishment because she wasn't able to treat patients how she wanted to treat them, right? She actually does more emotion code and body code and different things like that with healing now. But anyway, I'm diehard lover of Jesus. And she called me up and she said, hey, I think you should try this patch on your mom. She said, it really helped my neighbor lady who had Parkinson's. She said, Renita, it was almost miraculous. And you had me at the word miracle, right? And so I'm like, sure, send them, let's give it a shot. I'm open. And that's big deal, is being open to healing, right? You guys notice that when you talk to people, there's those that are open and those that aren't. Isn't that funny? Yeah. And so I always I don't waste a whole lot of energy on those that aren't, because they will get to the point where they are. And you just love upon them, and say, and be encouraging with them and say, hey, when you're ready, I'm here. I always leave a bridge when I leave somebody, that even if they don't do the patch, I just say, hey, you know what, there might be a time where your mind changes and you know where to find me, because I'd love to help you. And I think when you approach it like that, I think it keeps people's spirit happy and open. And so please do it that way. But this is my dad's legs. So my mom was actually walking without the walker on the 11th day. So her claim to fame is, I walked into the house, and mom, typically, if you guys know him with Parkinson's, it's kind of rough in the mornings. They don't produce dopamine. And so no dopamine means no motivation, essentially. No dopamine means depression, lots of depression, right? And it was the 11th day, and I walked into mom and dad's house, and mom was actually walking without her walker. Just normal, like at 8:30 in the morning. And I said to her, I was like, I mean, it was shocking to see that. And I said, Mom, where's the walker? She goes, do you want me to make you some eggs, Nita? And I was like, where's the walker? She said, oh, it's in the bedroom. And I looked at my husband, Scott, and I actually said, are you seeing this? Because Scott and I would always go to my parents' house. And Scott's like, holy cow. And I looked back at mom. I said, since when don't you need your walker at this hour? She goes, well, I didn't need it today. And that was the 11th day my mom was wearing the patch. And my mom's a prime example that you can wear the patch wrong. So I love Stacie's mother, how she said that she actually had it on for 24 hours. This would be my mom. But my mom wouldn't accidentally wear 24 hours. She's kind of German and cheap. So she just say, I'm going to get a good wear out of it. You know, it's the reason we went to buffets as kids, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. And so you're going to get your money's worth. So my mom is more that mentality, like I'm just going to keep it on until it falls off. Although we know now that when you wear it 12 hours on and you take it off for 12 hours, you are going to have the best results. Let's just say that. Okay. But mom was probably not even wearing it necessarily correct, but on the 11th day is when she had that miracle. And then my sweet dad, Marine, Semper Fi, just a warrior of health and freedom. This guy had dealt with these crazy legs that you see on the left there for 6 months. We dealt with those suckers. And we went to tons of doctors, 12 actually. First normal doctors, like, you know, his kidney doctor, his heart doctor, like his basic doctors that he had in system. And then when all those guys were total fails, I said, let's go outside of the system. Let's go to a naturopath. Let's go to a homeopath. Let's go to this chiropractic friend that I have. So we went to 12 total, and my dad's legs would not stop dripping. You can see them there. They're just, I mean, they just oozed. He literally would just, it was like a full-time job cleaning up these legs every day. So what happened with dad is, and the edema, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the top of the back of his knees itched so terribly bad. And I think it's because the skin was so damn overstretched. You know how when you have inflammation, it itches, right? And so he had that in the back of his legs. And so we put a patch on dad. I said, Dad, hey, where's those patches we're putting on mom? And he said, I think they're in her bedroom. I said, let's try one on you today. And he said, Renita, I thought the patch was for Parkinson's. I said, I have no idea what this patch is for. I said, but if it did that to mom, I think there's a fighting chance for you. So I said, let's get it on. And so we put it on dad. In fact, I just slapped it on his shoulder. I didn't even put it on the base of his neck. I just threw it on his shoulder because he had kind of a little bit of an goozing area up in his shoulder. And I said, let's put it close to that. And so I kind of expected a miracle. I'll be honest with you. I'm a big believer that expectancy is the atmosphere for miracles. So I kind of live my life like that. You know, it's really easy to head south and to your mind to go south, especially Madison with what you go through. I mean, I can't imagine, like, for you to be so optimistic and loving and positive is just tremendous, because it's easy to get stuck in that dark, because it's very dark when you go there, isn't it? But I'm here to tell you, like, I feel like that's why we have this opportunity to shine even brighter right now, because like the truth is coming out, and everyone is searching and seeking like they never have before. They're looking for modalities of healing and restoration and regeneration that they weren't looking for 5 years ago, because they were so trusting, right? And now the truth is the cat's out of the bag, and they're like, oh my goodness, like, I think I should try other things. And so we have a real huge opportunity right where we're at right now. And so I look at this leg. This was literally 24 hours later. I came back in then the next morning. My husband and I was so excited to get there. We were waiting outside the house. I even jumped the fence because I thought, did they die? How come they're not waking up yet? And so I was trying to look in the sliding glass window to see if their little dog was awake. And finally, my dad opened the curtains, and I went and ding dong, ring down the bell, open the door, and my dad opens the door, and I looked at him. I made eye contact, and I just looked down, and all I saw was the little beautiful chicken legs. The chicken legs were back. I mean, because my dad always had chicken legs. And so like super little skinny legs. And I mean, I honestly dropped to my knees and started, I mean, I was in tears. We had been through freaking hell with those legs in 6 months I was my dad's kind of caretaker with them. So crazy journey. And I just thank the Lord. And my dad, so nonchalantly, he turns and he starts walking away from me, and he goes, well, looks like that patch worked. He said, looks like we wasted a lot of time, energy, and thousands of dollars on going to a lot of doctor's appointments, because he was just so blunt like that. Here, like, who knew one patch would do that? So do you guys know that my dad's legs never, ever, ever oozed again? Never. I mean, you'd have to have been living in my shoes to really understand that statement right there. Cause I mean, it was a miracle. It was a miracle. And this was Dad's legs 5 weeks later. He was able to get off of 3 of his blood pressure medications. Amazing. We actually started him on the X49 patch, which is really great for bone density and blood flow and heart health. So we were able to start him on that on the 5th week. So he were only X39 for the first month. And then, you know, we said, let's get him on the 5th week. Lisa Marie, that cute dog there. Let's get him on the X49 as well. So my dad and mom, you guys, I started this business, not because I had some rage review. Like I didn't have anything yet at that point when I purchased my package. I had just saw what happened to mom and dad. And I thought to myself, these two were in tough shape at 77 and 80, right? How many of you feel like the older people, it works faster? Raise your hand. I mean, I'm talking to medical doctors that are on my team. I've got about 300 of them. And the medical doctors all say to me, Renita, I am seeing more happen in 1 week with these patients that are on the patch than I've seen in working with them for 6 months. 1 week. Dr. Leland just said that last Monday with me. He's an MD friend of mine. And he said, one patch, like literally 1 week of these patches, he said, I'm seeing the most incredible things happen. He said, typically I coach people and we do labs and this and that. 6 months later, we might get to some type of, positive result. He said, I'm seeing more than that in 1 week with this patch. He said, it's unbelievable. So, yeah, this is my friend Penny. You guys know people with eczema, psoriasis, anything skin related. It's really remarkable. Penny had chemotherapy 6 years ago and they thought she was going to die. So they gave her some wicked chemo. This was a side effect from her chemo, and she had that for the last 6 years. How crazy is that? And she's spent money on lotions, potions, steroid injections, which made it worse. All of this stuff. And she calls me up and Penny says, she went to high school. She graduated with my brother. And she said, Renita, do you think the patch will help? I see what you're posting on Facebook. I said to Penny, the same thing I say to all of you, the same thing you can say to your friends, it's worth a shot. Yeah. I said, Penny, it's worth a shot. I said, I only think it can help you. Penny says, if it helps me, I'll tell the world. This was 5 days later, she texted me this picture. And Penny's got a great story, not only about herself, but she had a little dog that had a liver shunt put in. And ever since the liver shunt, the dog was having repeated seizures. Even on the seizure medication, the dog was still having seizures. She started patching her little dog with the X39 patch. So Keith, when you tell the horse stories, I'm all about that because I love animals. But her little dog has not had a seizure since she's patched the little dog with X39. How awesome is that? So no more drugs, like awesome. So we could show you those all day long, but the big question is, have you been patched? And have your people that you love and care about been patched? That's why we're here tonight. We want you to be able to share this with other people that you care about, right? I tell my team all the time, sharing is caring. And if you don't care right now, put more patches on yourself until you do, okay? But making yourself a priority is a big deal. I think for a long time, there was this thing that, oh, taking time for yourself is selfish. No, I told my mom this, Mom, if you don't take time to exercise and do the things that you're supposed to with your Parkinson's, if you don't take care of yourself, someone is eventually taking care of you. Right? And sometimes you can take good care of yourself and you still have people taking care of you, but it's going to probably be expedited if you're taking poor care of yourself. So I'm like, take good care of yourself, try to move in the right direction for health and healing. The patch makes it so easy. I mean, I've been a health coach for 25 years. I'm certified to teach 25 different modalities of exercise. I coach people for decades about how to lose weight, lower their A1C. I mean, you name it. I have never in 25 years seen something that's so easy, so effective, so simple, and so affordable. Mm-hmm. I mean, all of those things. This is what the patch is. So you can put it wherever you want. Again, it is systemic. The X39 and 49 are systemic. Okay, so systemic means it goes everywhere. Okay, say the word systemic so you can remember it. Systemic. Okay, remember when they told you when you just got the vaccine right here, you just had a little reaction and then we found out it was systemic? That means it went everywhere. Okay, the patch is systemic as well. And what that means is you could put it on your chest. I actually have mine, I think, right there. See it? My pec was kind of sore, so I put it there today. And so you can put it anywhere you want, and it will go to the weakest area that really needs the repair. In a lot of the literature, you'll see it up there in that C7 on the neck and under the belly button, because that's where David Schmidt, when he did the studies, he wanted to keep it relative, right? So he didn't want people patching in 17 different spots. So he put the patches there during the studies, but you can wear it anywhere. My advice is drink plenty of water, drink plenty of electrolytes. I actually am drinking Topo Chico right now. Do you guys know what Topo Chico is? I love it's mineral water. It's mineral
Oh,
water.
guys,
So
that.
I'm a bit, if they like serve it in Mexico. But anyway, it's so get extra electrolytes in. You can do that with your food. Watermelon, buy a bag of, do you know that I have a bag of Celtic sea salt in every one of my vehicles? So
I
like
love-
I'm just pinching salt. I went for a run today. It was hot up here around the golf course. I put the pinch of salt in my mouth. I drank the water down afterwards. I mean, that's how easy it is, you guys. That's a secret, by the way, that the government doesn't want you to know. There's a reason they told you to stop eating salt.
Yeah.
Salt is electrons. Electrons mean electricity and energy. Think of lightning. Okay. When they told you to stop doing that, think about all these people that have heart problems because they're not getting enough electrolytes now. It's crazy to think about. So watermelon, avocados, you can get a lot of those over there, Lisa, in Hawaii probably, or wherever you're at, you can get them. Like avocados, sweet potatoes are great. Regular potatoes are good. Coconut water, if I didn't say that. So just melons in general are gonna be really awesome. So how does this patch work? We're telling all these great stories and you're on here thinking, if you're new, like, how is this thing working? Like, kind of like me, like I remember after seeing my dad's legs, I remember thinking to myself, what's in this patch? Like I was like so astounding to me to see the miracle of mom and dad. I was like, what, give me the ingredient list of this patch, right? Well, the funny thing is, we now know that the patch is not, it's not transferable. So it's not a transdermal patch. So what that means is like, sometimes there's those pain patches or different patches you can buy that there's a chemical or medication or something that will leach into the skin. This is not that. So there is nothing leaching from the patch into the body, which is so awesome because that's why it really does no contraindication with any medications. Outside, there's 2 contraindications. If you're on active chemotherapy, you should wait until you're done. Okay. And the only other contraindication where I would say, you know what, you really need to consult with your doctor is if you have had an organ transplant and you are an anti-rejection medication. So if you're on here and saying, Renita, I had a kidney transplant, I'd say you need to talk to your doctor. I wouldn't suggest the X39 right now. And so, but you could wear some of the other patches, but you just would have to be a little careful with that X39 if you've had an organ transplant. So I only know one person and I know lots and lots of people. So usually that's not a major concern. But what's in them? So the word nanocrystals, sometimes as Christians, it was scary. I remember reading the word nanocrystals, like, oh, they trained us not to look at crystals, right? Like that's like occultic. Truth be told, if you've ever held a piece of salt or sugar in your hand, do you guys know it kind of looks like a crystal? Have you ever looked at a big old chunk of salt? It's kind of a crystal pattern, right? It's like a rock. It's like a little rock in your hand. And so what the nanocrystals are is actually water, sugar, salt, oxygen, and amino acids. So they're naturally occurring ingredients in the patch. And so all you do is when you take the patch, comes like this. Okay, it's about the size of one of those Band-Aids. You simply, this is a nice way, you simply rip off the back of the patch and you put it on your skin. Now, wherever you put it, again, there's nothing leaching into the body. All that's happening is the body heat will warm it up. And when it warms it up, those crystals will reflect different frequencies of light back into the body that activate different healing peptides. So amazing. So each one of the patch is going to be a different type of frequency of light back into the body. So people say to me sometimes, well, how does the patch know if it's the ice wave or the X39 or the Eon? Well, it's the way those amino acids and those natural ingredients are arranged in there. Okay, so it's amazing, you guys. It's amazing technology, and it reactivates your own stem cells. So a lot of people don't realize that our stem cells are like God's gift to us. They were put in us in our mother's womb. It's the first cell in our body. And that cell then divides and becomes all the other organ systems, our heart, our brain, all that stuff. And you guys know that your stem cells are usually really incredibly active, repairing and regenerating the body up until about age 20. At age 20 is when it starts to head south. Now, with that being said, I feel like younger and younger people are needing the stem cells because chronic inflammation eats them up. So Madison, when you're talking kind of about like even this trafficking and the stuff that you're dealing with, I'm like, think of the inflammation and the fear. Think about the inflammation that fear creates in the body. Think about that for you guys for a second. Have you ever been scared and just like, oh, your whole body is just like full of fire? Now imagine staying like that for a while, right? So all that inflammation acts like a Pac-Man and actually eats up our own stem cells, which is why younger and younger and younger people are getting sick, right? Used to be like old people would get sick. Now they're saying that like 51% of children have childhood diseases, right? It's crazy. So younger and
that's
younger
all their
people.
scabs too, because when they're born, they give them so many, they tell the parents they need so many vaccines. So that's reasons too. And parents don't know and don't need, and I'm guilty of that when my kids were born, but now they don't get any. I'm like, don't come near my child ever with this. So, and I want to mention something now because you're talking about the light, and I want to be like really clear of why I really love this, because you like, it keeps coming to my head when you're saying it, is there is so much darkness around us, and the healing technologies have been hidden from us for so long, where they get people on different medications and different, like, you know, pills. I mean, and again, all of us, we're looking for something that have health issues, any type of issues. As we get older, we have hormonal issues, and they don't tell us, oh, so here, take this pill, take that pill, take this pain med, take that pain med. So the fact that this is the light within the darkness, I strongly believe that. And so I just want everyone to like, this is why I am all about this, because think about these kids too. They're coming out of the darkness. I've come out of the darkness, and this is the light. God wants the light to shine upon us, and that's what's healing our bodies. So I just wanted to say that. So
yeah,
you know.
all the different frequencies of light and frequency. So I want to tell you this, like, I've been a health coach for 25 years, and I believe in all modalities of healing. I believe that every good and perfect gift, I've always believed that. They always use that verse at baby showers, right? Every good and perfect gift comes from heaven, which is true. But the second half of that verse, it actually is given to us by the Father of heavenly lights. And
Yes.
so I'm like, hello, guys, like, this all goes back to light. Like 225 times, I believe, light is mentioned in the Bible. God even says at one point, I am light, right? So, I mean, all of this stuff is so huge. And Madison, you know about the med beds, and I'm such a believer in sound therapy, light therapy, color therapy, frequency therapy. Do you know why I'm such a believer in all that stuff? It's non-invasive.
Yes.
We have, at what point do we think that chemoing somebody to their death is okay? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying if you're on here and it saved your life, well, hallelujah, you're alive. But I'm here to tell you that most of these modern medicine, right, is literally it's a chemical. It's a chemical, right? And so if we can do something natural, non-invasive, that is affordable, that it can only help and not hurt, we should be doing it. I'm just a believer in that. So it's activating our own stem cells, and stem cells are a big deal, which is exactly why I think it was not approved in the United States. That's why, remember, I think it was which one of these presidents trying to get stem cells in, and they negated it, right? So people now are flying to like Panama or Tijuana or other parts of the world to get stem cell injections. But when you look at stem cells, they are incredible. I think there's also a little controversial issue, right? Because especially for me as a Christian, I was like, I don't know, like, is it aborted baby fetuses, embryos? Like, I don't know, like, I don't want something artificial coming into my body. But the fact that with this patch, our body just creates it itself. It's creating its own stem cells. It's not coming from an outside source. That is incredible, right? So stem cells, according to the New England Journal of Medicine, it's the #1 indicator of wellness. And I tell people every day, I'm not an expert in the medical field, but I am an expert in health. I study health and healing and light, right? That is what I am studying. I am not studying sickness. Why would you study sickness? You get sicker when you start studying it. Start studying health, right? It's like common sense again. CSD, common sense degree. You guys can use that if you want. I should probably have Jill make me a shirt that says I've got a CSD.
I want one of those shirts too, please.
I got a CSD. Ask me. I got a CSD. Ask me. Anyway, so stem cells can become anything in our bodies where the healing needs to happen, right? And for each one of us, that's going to look a little bit different. The crazy thing is there's 1 billion of these circulating when we're kids generally, right? But by age 30, by age 20 is when that number starts to decrease. So by age 20, it's about a 50% reduction already then. But by age 30, and again, 30 is super young. Think about how many 30-year-olds you know that right now that are in such tremendously tough shape. Do you guys ever just go out to eat and listen? Like sometimes I go out to eat and I just listen to the conversations like around me, and I'm like, everybody is so sick. It's crazy, right? And we have the solution, you guys. We can come in there and shine the light on the darkness for these people. It's awesome. So by age 50, you got a 75% reduction of these stem cells. By age 60, a 90% reduction. 60's young. By age 80, that was my poor dad. I just told him, listen, Marine, you only got 2 circulating stem cells. So they're trying to find each other and they haven't. So that's why the patch worked for you, buddy. Anyway, so that's age 80. So we are seeing a lot of the older generation, and my doctor friends all say the same thing. All my MD friends that are using this say, wow, Renita, it happens so fast with the elderly. I'm like, I think it's because they have so few, right? And then all of a sudden their body goes, oh, I'm supposed to create stem cells. So again, what is it going to do? We see a lot, you guys: rapid pain relief, reduced inflammation, wound healing, energy and vitality. Amazing for sports performance. I could go on and on about my boys because they're so athletic. Faster recovery from exercise, improved skin appearance, mental clarity. We've got race car drivers on our team even, you guys. So like, you don't have to be like sick and decrepit to use the patch. Sometimes I think, you know what, I'm using it like as a form of prevention, right? Like, because I want to stay well and young and healthy, right? And again, it's common sense. It's like, okay, if you're not increasing your stem cells, then your stem cells are going down and you're aging faster. Do you want to do that? I don't. Just like a normal, probably not. Is there a way I can stop that? Yeah, let's put a patch on. So topography map. This is a 77-year-old woman, but like we talked the other day, Madison, this is like the world. We should do a world topography map on their brains. It all looks red. It's like super inflamed and it's out of control. There's no brain coherence. I mean, I don't know what's, we should just wrap Biden in patches. Like, I mean, this guy's got no brain coherence. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think it'll work for him, but just saying.
Yeah, it probably won't. It probably won't.
There's
But anyway,
only one person I believe it wouldn't work on.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. But the point is like there's this brain, you know, basically not coherent brain happening throughout the world. It's all ages. It's not a 77-year-old or 80-year-old thing. It's happening in the young people. Look around, guys. And so for me, I'm like, gosh, even just to make enough money to just patch people freely when you see them because you love them and care about them, hug them and patch them, hug them and patch them, patch and pray, hug, patch, pray, just keep doing it. You know, you're bound to make some headways. But this was just in a few short weeks of this woman wearing the patch. I mean, you look at that, I would like to get a list of what she said, how her life changed, right? I would like to see the list because, you know, on that session 1, brain fog, depression, lethargy, probably poor memory recall at 77, right, guys? Slow memory recall, you know, and then you look at how that brain changed. It's incredible. It's incredible. So we really have our hands on something special. And we've got lots of proven results. We had a gal on our team that actually did this. She actually did this thermogram on herself, and she shared her results with our team last week live. And she went and had the pictures taken like this. And then she put the Eon patch on her neck. The Eon, AEON, the one that brings the body out of the sympathetic stress state back to parasympathetic, where it can rest and repair. And in 30 minutes, all of that red in her body, I mean, it was like gone. It was like miraculous. And I said to her, her name is Kristen. I said, Kristen, didn't you trust the pictures that you saw in the studies with LifeWave? She goes, I was the study, Renita. I am the study. I wanted to do it myself. So she literally went and had that done just to prove to herself how the patch was working. So we see lots of great things, you guys. First 2 days, the genes began to reset. You may or may not feel that. I didn't feel my liver spot going away, right? We don't feel our spider veins going away. Sometimes we don't feel our hair growing. I mean, maybe you do, I don't, right? So all those things are happening. So you might not necessarily see it like a ta-da, but just know that, like David Schmidt said, this patch literally works for every single person. It just, sometimes it works more outwardly first. Sometimes it's working more inwardly. Right? We don't know what it's repairing. We don't know if it's your liver or your kidneys or your heart or what needs the repair. So within 3 months, the collagen is increasing. We see a lot of people where their skin is just vibrant and beautiful. And like Stacie told us how the brown spot's gone on the bottom of her feet. Get those feet in that doctor's face. I agree. Show them the feet. You know, they got to see that. So I think that sometimes seeing is believing. That's the crazy thing with this patch. Seeing, take pictures of your ugly stuff. Stacie, I hope you took a picture of those ugly brown spots on your feet before they started going away. If not, catch it right now. Take the socks off and do it now, girl. Anyway, we can't miss another ugly day. Anyway.
I did, don't worry.
Okay, good. And when I say that, people laugh at me and I'm like, no, like maybe we should just take 60 seconds right now and you guys can take pictures of ugly stuff, like real quick, like while we're on this meeting, you know, on Market Set Go, because what happens is it's going to look different. And then when it does, sometimes you're the only one who looks at the ugly stuff, right? Because we're scared to show people our ugly stuff, right? Let's just be honest, right? You don't want to show people your warts. I mean, are any of you just flashing your wart on Facebook? I mean, no, right? You know, you're kind of keeping that.
No, just
Look at this big, hairy, ugly mole I have, right? No one's showing this stuff. So make sure you're taking pictures because when it goes away, you're going to want to share. But within 6 months, this is a big deal for those that are more, I'm such a long-term thinker with health, right? Because I know what 3 months looks like with your health when you make the positive changes. I know what 6 months looks like. 12 months with your health will change your life. I mean, it'll turn, so many of those organ systems are able to repair again in 12 months. But I look at like the heart reverses in age. I have cardiologists on my team that say they've never seen the heart aging as fast as it did in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's due to the vaccine, right? Sometimes that's due to COVID. And sometimes that's due to the stress of this whole freaking deal, right? It just made people stressed out and it aged them, and even their hearts. And so your vascular system is your hearts, your vessels, your veins, right? Your arteries. And so they did a study where they took 15 people, they patched them only with X39. That's it. And they brought them back in 6 months later. The people were wearing the patch, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, right? Like they should have been. And in 6 months, when they reevaluated this group of people, 14 of the 15 people had reduced their vascular age by an average of 8 years. That's an average. So some was even greater than that. Think about that, you guys. That's incredible. What else can we do in 6 months that's going to make our heart 8 years younger? There's not a pill in the marketplace that can do that, right? So this is a really huge thing. And I love David Schmidt when he says, this is not anti-aging, it's actually age reversing. So we actually are getting younger. And so if you haven't been to Start X39, did you guys write that down last time we were together? Start X39. And then remember the other one that will explain all of the patches for those that say, Renita, I need to learn about all the patches. You can go to startx39now.com. Okay, got that? And then also, I showed you last time patch placement, right? Did you guys remember that? Let me show you that again. Tell me if the screen switches over for me, because sometimes it does. Did it switch over or not?
Yes.
Still, that's it. Okay. So when you're up here, you guys have your own website. Madison's, of course, is lifewave.com/real Madison Marquette. But go up here to learn. See that where it says learn? And then go to patch placement guide. And if you're wondering where to put these patches for some of the other patches, like X39's right here, and you can come down and see it says, tell me about. Do you see it where it says that up there? And you can hit that little box. And when you hit that box, look at it, pulls them all up. But I'm going to keep it on X39 and it shows you where to put it. That's where they really suggest putting the X39. But I could go on here and say, okay, where should I put the Eon? Here it is. Look at that little guy. So you can put them in all those spots. I actually love the right foot between the first and second toe, about 1 inch up. That's actually called liver 2 in Chinese medicine. It's unbelievable for healing. It's unbelievable. So that's a great place for the Eon patch right there. This little guy right here. Awesome patch. Awesome place to put it. Okay. So, but just know that you can literally educate yourself about different places to put them. And you can try them in different areas. Like sometimes I have a friend that says, you know what, I didn't really notice it right here, but boy, when I put that place on my wrist, Renita, game over for my inflammation. Right. So, this part of this thing is kind of getting interactive with yourself and getting back in touch and in tune with ourselves. We've gotten so disconnected because people are so highly medicated, which I think they did that on purpose. It's like detachment, right? Because if you're detached, then, how many people do you know that are on so many meds and they're kind of like living in Never Land? They're just detached. And so as soon as you do this, it's kind of making you get in touch with yourself again. Like, oh, let me try the patch in a different spot. Let me try it here. And that, again, that might be the magical spot for you. So hop it around different places that works, but Start X39. Did it switch back? Did you guys see that? Did it switch back? Okay.
Yeah.
Start X39. And then the other one to look at all the patches, you guys, is startx39now.com. So know that you have both of those resources. They're free for you. They're safe. You can send people there just to do educational research. Okay. Got it. Start X39, Start X39 now. And of course, we love David Schmidt. This guy is great. I can't wait. We get to see him in just a couple weeks, but just a heart of gold, servant mentality, loves the Lord Jesus. His first he said to Scott and I love superheroes, because of course he had all these Iron Men behind him. And we're like, hey, you're obviously an Iron Man fan. He goes, I love superheroes. He said, but honestly, my first superhero was Jesus Christ. And so like, great guy, and only a heart to serve humanity. I can't even wait to tell you what's coming. Like I can't say it right now, but I can't wait to tell you what's coming, because it is just like the most exciting things happening. When Madison, when you're talking light, energy, med beds, like, hang on, brace yourself. Like that old biochemical, a pill for the ill is about to be gone. Like that's going to be game over for that industry. right? That's why they were trying to save themselves on their way out with all this mass vaccination business they did. Anyway, onward and upward, but David's an incredible human. The patent, guess what? Guess when the patent was taken out? July 21st, 2020. What does that mean? Today is the 3-year anniversary of the patent. Like, just let's clap for that. Yay. But here, let's keep clapping because that means we've got 17 more years. Yay. To help people educate them about how they can activate their stem cells naturally, right? To educate them about how they can take back their power, and 17 more years to help a whole lot of people and make a whole lot of money if that's something you're interested in. And I do love it because it's not another Me Too product. There's so many Me Too products in the marketplace. You can't go buy this at CVS. You can't buy it at Walmart. You've got to sign up with Madison or whomever invited you on here tonight. They are your sponsor. So make sure you get back with that person so they can help you to get ordering at the cheapest price. So I love that. 19-year-old company, debt-free company. Products are made in the good old USA. The international place that they're made is actually over in Ireland. So US and Ireland are where the patches are made. We've never had any you know, how people were running out of supply and supply chain issues. We've never had any of that during the last 4 years, which has been awesome. So the company 3 years ago, when the X39 was launched, was doing about 20 million to 30 million a year. And that year when it was launched, it went to $280 million. Why? Because that patch is incredible what it does for people. I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable almost sometimes. So we're open in over 75 different countries. If you know people in Mexico, talk to them. They're relaunching all the patches back up in Canada on August 7th. You know people up there, talk to them. What a huge opportunity for our Canadian friends, because Health Canada is really crazy up there. In addition, Keith knows that because he lives up there. But anyway, everybody, I mean, when you think about this, you guys, if you're thinking of people in other parts of the world, talk to them, reach out to them. I mean, here's the good news. Everybody has stem cells and everybody needs more of them. Okay, every mammal. Maybe you're thinking about people and they don't even like themselves, but they like their pets. Contact them about their pets, right? So I love it. People and pets, big pharma model. You know, it's so funny. Madison, you know, if you knew a little bit more of my history, because we're just getting to know each other, but you know, I'm a workhorse. I'm just a workhorse. My dad was a Marine. I'm like you. I'm a workhorse. I'm not afraid to work. And I used to own a gym. I used to own 2 gyms. And I was pregnant with my second son. And I was training about 30 to 35 clients a week. And I was teaching 18 exercise classes a week, pregnant. Wow. The day before I delivered, I taught 4 classes that day. So I was teaching 18 classes a week. Yeah, I'm such a loser, right? You know, in fact, one of my staff didn't show up the day after I delivered. And then I went and it was a rebounding class of all things. I'm like, I can't believe my uterus didn't fall out on the tramp. But anyway, Keith, maybe that was too much for you. But anyway, at the end of the day, I didn't understand network marketing because my dad was a Marine and he raised us, if you want to make more money, get another job. That's how we were kind of raised, right? We didn't understand network marketing. We didn't understand multiple streams of income. It was just like, work harder if you want more money, or go get another job if you want more money. And so I'll never forget when I was exposed to network marketing, I didn't really know the model. I always thought of Amway, which I didn't know. I always heard it was a scam. I don't know. I was kind of too young for it. I did remember that my mom, when I was a little girl, maybe about 12, there was this lady that came to our house. Her name was Eunice Cost. Can you guys believe it? Remember that name? Anyway, it just came to me. My brain is sharp. Anyway, she came to our house and she was selling Watkins. Do you guys know what Watkins is? It was like in these little bottles. They look like almost like syrup bottles. And my mom bought this kit of Watkins. And then she said to me, Nita, go sell it to the neighbors. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like 12. And she's like, you're supposed to go sell to the neighbors. And so I went and and the neighbors like loved it. They like bought. So my experience with network marketing was not like someone saying no to me. It was like the neighbors couldn't get enough of this Watkins business, right? And so that was kind of my first and only experience I ever had with network marketing. I didn't really know anything about it. But my husband's a financial planner. His name is Scott. And if any of you need help with the business aspect, get a hold of Scott. He's incredible. He's incredible with the back office. And he wants to help all of you to have success. But Scott said to me one day when I was teaching those 18 classes, when I was pregnant, 9 months pregnant, Scott said to me, Renita, you need to find something else. He's like, you need to find something where you can make some residual income. And I'm like, what's residual income? he said, well, he said, you tell all these people, you send them downtown to Terry's Health Products and the drugstore to get all this stuff. He said, you need to find a product that you believe in and I was like, oh, I don't know about that. Well, then Scott said that to me, and about a week later, I was introduced to a product that I fell in love with that changed our life. But what happened is, let me just get to the point. I read a book, and it was called Business School by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, Business School, Robert Kiyosaki. And someone had given me the book. It's a little book. It's only like 100 pages. And it's the subtitle of the book, because my degree was in business, physical education. Then went back to school for my doctorate in holistic nutrition and naturopathy. And so my degrees were like in business and physical fitness, essentially. Well, here I'm reading this book, and it says Business School. And the subtitle of it said, for people who like to help people. And I was like, that's me. Like, that's it. The name of the book was Business School. I was like, I just got a business degree. Nobody taught me this book or this subtitle, for people who like to help people. And I'm like, I love people. I love helping people. Like, I love it. Like I told you guys, I'm like the guy, Hacksaw Ridge. And I think to myself, I got to go get one more. I'm like, I got to go help one more person yet today. I can take one more call to help one person get free with their health. And anyway, I read that book. Do you guys know I read that book 7 times that day? I'm kind of obsessed when I like something. So I read it, and I was like, it changed. I had to retrain my brainwash. My brain was like, my dad, the Marine. If you want to make money, get another job, right? Work harder, Renita. Like, it was never work smarter. Like dad never. So we can only be given from our parents what they know. And so we didn't have any upbringing with that. So my point of telling you that is network marketing changed my life. I love it. I'm not scared to say this is multi-level marketing, network marketing, because I couldn't take care of my mom and help out with her 6 to 8 hours a day if I didn't do this. I couldn't homeschool our 2 youngest boys if we didn't do this. I couldn't do 9 Zoom meetings a day if I didn't do this. I couldn't do all the things that I love to do if I didn't do this, right? So this gives me the freedom to do the other things that I want to be doing with my life, right? So for some people, if you've got a negative connotation or a bad taste in your mouth, I'm sorry. I'm sorry something had happened. I'm sorry you got burned in the past. I don't believe in people getting burned with network marketing. I believe either you win or you learn. You probably learned something if you got burnt, right? And so take that knowledge into this opportunity and step into the freedom model, because the freedom model is actually where it's at. You're buying direct from wholesale from the think about this. You're buying from the company. The company offers the money back guarantee. You're not reimbursing people's money if they don't like it. The company's reimbursing their money, right? They've got no risk. All you are is the messenger. You're the in-between person to go tell them about it, because if you don't tell them, they won't know. Just like I didn't know until Doris from Canada told me, right, guys? So our job is not like to have a big understanding of it all. Our job is to say, what do you know about stem cells? Do you know there's a way that you can naturally activate your own, like with this little patch? It's like $100 a month. Most people are going to be like, tell me about that. I've heard things about stem cells, And so, and then you send them to Start X39. But the freedom model is the freedom of people like you, Madison, you, Stacie, Heidi, Anne, Lisa, all of you guys on here, to make hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars each year if you want to. If you treat this like if you say, I don't want to make money, don't worry, you won't. It's like someone saying, I don't want muscles like you, Renita. Don't worry, you won't get them. I know what it took to get them, right? And so it's like, at a certain point, it's like, oh, okay, you don't want to make money, then don't share with anybody. But if you're on here saying, I would like to make $500 a week, that'd be really cool to make $2,000 a month with this thing. I could do a lot with that. I could pay my house payment, right? I could buy extra patches to patch my neighbors because they're in tough shape. And so think about it more like that. Have an opportunity mindset. We've been so closed off and so dark for so many years. Sometimes I'm coming in here and shining the light. So if you need a big old brain washing, because the Lord knows we've had it in the last 40 years with television. I'm here to tell you, you might need a brainwashing. First, get in the Word of God, because it says we'll be made new by the renewing of our minds. But you might need to just have a different perspective. You know what I mean? And say, you know what? I never really thought about it like that. And I'm going to look into it. So it's called Business School by Robert Kiyosaki, for people who like to help people. And if that's you, you probably would love the book. So there's lots of reasons you guys are here, and each one is different. The stem cell industry is not slowing down. It's only picking up pace right now. The industry right now globally is a $200 million industry. It's going to 300 billion. It's a big deal, you guys. Think about that, 200 million to 300 billion. Someone's going to be making that money. I don't want it to be big pharma. So 4 ways to earn commissions. Now, if you got started already tonight, know that you have your own website. When people go here, when they go to your own website and they purchase the bronze pack, they earn 15 bucks. If they purchase a silver pack at your website, that you get a $50 bonus. When they purchase gold, you get a $100 bonus. When they purchase the platinum, you get a $150 bonus, and diamond, there's a $200 bonus for you. Now, if you do upgrade to diamond, which I know Madison did, and a few of you others did, Heidi, I know you did, and Ann did, and I didn't. But when you upgrade to diamond and you go out and you sponsor a platinum or diamond, and once you've gone diamond yourself, you can upgrade at any time. So if you're watching this tonight, you say, Renita, I got started at gold, but I need more patches. Like, I'm almost out. I got people I'm thinking of. Then you can upgrade to diamond at any point. And when you do that, they pay you for 14 weeks. So what happens, instead of you making 150 and 200 on those bigger packs, when someone goes to your website, you'll actually earn $300 instead of 150 and $500 instead of $200. So don't be afraid to start talking in platinum and diamonds. And this is why. Most people are W-2 paid employees, and they're not very tax efficient. My husband could sit down and he could take over right now and give you a whole presentation on financial literacy and how we need to be sharper, like with our finances, right? We need to figure out ways so that we just don't have to keep pouring in money to the federal government. And I'm not saying like, this is not scandalous. This is not doing anything unethical. Be ethical, but know the rules. You know, most people, you know why they don't save money in taxes? They don't know the rules. They go to, you know, their tax advisor, and their tax advisor has no idea about home-based businesses, doesn't know that the product is a tax deduction, doesn't know that, you know, a portion of your home, your computer, your internet, right? My gas, everywhere I go, it's a tax deduction. I haven't traveled in the last 15 years of my life where it hasn't been written off. Why? Because the tax code reads, the IRS tax code reads, if your intent is to share your business, your product, your business with anybody, when you pull out of your driveway, then you can deduct it. That's the tax code. If your intention is to share your business. Now, if you get in the car and you say, I'm not going to talk to anybody about LifeWave. Okay, don't write that off. But me, I've got them in my glove compartment. I've got them in, you know, I've got them in my bag next to me. I've got patches with me wherever I go. Why? Because I'm not dumb. Remember, common sense degree. I have a common sense degree, and I'm like, I am going to write off wherever I'm going. I know that if I go to Target and I don't go to Target anymore, but when I used to, and there would be someone in a sling, I would say, what's wrong with, like, oh, what happened to you? And they're like, oh, I got carpal tunnel. This is my 3rd job. I'm like, I think I have something that might help you. And they're like, you do? And they lean in. They're like, what is it? Now we're whispering, right? And so this is how I share. I see a need, fill a need. That's all I do. I walk around all day like that. See a need, fill a need. So I'm not some tough salesperson. I'm looking for people I can pull out of the pit. So number 1 way to earn, that's a first order bonus. They call it a product introductory bonus. So when you have your website, know that that's the bonuses you get. If you're watching this tonight and you haven't enrolled yet, you can enroll with any one of these packages. Bronze is 1 sleeve. I would say get silver at least, because silver is $300 and it's 3 sleeves, or you can pick whatever patches you want. It doesn't have to be just X39. And at silver, there's no sign-up fee, and it's wholesale pricing. And then there's gold, which a lot of people start at gold. Stacie, you started at gold, right?
No, I actually started at silver, but I upgraded to gold. Mom started at gold.
Yep, good.
Yeah.
So your mom started, that's right, your mom started at gold. So when you start at
Yes,
gold, that's 5 sleeves, and then you get 1 additional free sleeve of any of the other patches. So Eon, Ice Wave, whatever else you want to try. And then platinum is really cool because it's, as you see here, it's $1,000, but you get 12 sleeves. So that means you get like 2 whole sleeves free, 60 additional patches for free. And then diamond, as you can see, is $1,600, and you get a total of 19 sleeves. So they give you 3 full sleeves for free. So 1 free at gold, 2 free at platinum, 3 free at diamond. So just depending on where you want to start, totally decide that. I always say there's 2 things when you're buying. Number 1 is, what are your goals, right? What are your goals? Do you have financial goals? Then consider going gold or higher if you have financial goals. Number 2 is your current state of finances, right? We don't want anyone to, this is supposed to be a financial opportunity. This is not supposed to be a financial hardship. right? Get it? So you can upgrade at any point on the spectrum when you're ready. Binary commissions, you are part of Madison's team. You're part of all of our teams. So we want to help you to win, but you have a right leg and a left leg. And there's people that are, I mean, Madison, you're sponsoring like wildfire at this point. You know, I know it. I see them coming in. I see the sponsor. I see Heidi adding them to the Facebook group. And so what's happening is you, when you sign up, like Stacie, you got 2 people on your right, you got 2 people on your left, and you became a manager. A manager is the first rank. Now, when it says $1,500, that doesn't mean you automatically make $1,500. That means you can earn up to $1,500 a week. Those 4 people that you sponsored, let's say 2 of them say, I want to go out and share this, just like you are doing, Stacie, and they start sharing with people. And maybe you don't know those people that they're sharing with. Well, you can earn in these cycle bonuses, whether the people you sponsored or they sponsored, you can earn up to $1,500 a week. And how that's paid out is on those 2 legs, there's going to be business volume. All the patches, when you order a sleeve of patches, it's a business volume. When you order a package, there's business volume attached to that. And it even tells you right on here. See, guys, 77 business volume on the bronze, 165. See that? 275, 350 on the business volume. So what happens, that business volume, they place the order, falls on the tree. When you have 660 business volume on right leg and 330 on the left leg, boom, that's 990 points. And then you're gonna get a $50 cycle bonus, it's called. They subtract that 990 off your team and you get paid the $50. And it's all in real time in your back office. When you see the increments going up in $50, $100, 150, that's because you're having cycle bonuses coming in. Okay. So that's one of the ways of making money. Generation matching bonus, first, second, third. So when you sponsor somebody, they're your first line leadership. That means that you sponsored them. And so you can earn 25% check match off them. So Madison, Stacie's your first line leadership. You personally sponsored her. Madison, you personally sponsored Lisa, I believe. Those are your first line leaderships, right? And so if these women and men are going out there sharing this and they are building, let's say they build a team and they're making about $10,000 a week, you will earn a 25% check match on that. So that's why it's very important to get our team plugged into like meetings like this so they kind of understand how it works. Because if they decide to share it, it's very advantageous, not only to them, because they'll be earning income and they'll be helping people with the patches, but you're also getting a check match on that. And I told my husband a long time ago, I'm never getting involved again in win-win-lose situations, ever. You won't see me in them. I'm involved in win-win-win-win-win. It's got to be like the carnival. Everybody wins. Like if everybody's not winning, I'm not doing it. And I really feel like this is a win-win-win-win situation. There is no lose, because even if people don't like the patch, they can get their money back. So there was no loss, right? So think about that for a second. I mean, there's literally no risk, right, in this whole thing. And so second line leadership means anybody that Lisa brings in the business, like Stacie's mom, that would be your second line leadership. So if she gets out and she starts sharing it with people that she's, going to different clubs and Bible studies with or whatever, guess what? Now that's your second line leadership. If she starts building, it's another 20% check match there. And I'm just using you as the leader there, Madison, but any one of you could be first line leadership, right? Like you could say, well, who's my first line leadership? Who's my second line leadership? The people that they sponsor. Who's my third line leadership? The person that you sponsored, that they sponsored, That's your third line leadership. You guys get it? Don't feel like you have to understand it all to begin, because over analysis will lead to paralysis. This is the business that when you start moving through it, you will learn it. Okay. Yeah. Retail profit, another way of making money. We've got a ton of our doctors. Whoops. Where did that go again? Doctors, that's enough. Doctors, nurses, healthcare practitioners, they love the retail sales because they buy them in bulk, turn around and sell them at their clinics at retail. So that's totally up to you if you have a situation where you can do that. Hairdressers also love that. Hairdressers are mighty warriors of light. They're like underpaid counselors. So like go talk to your hairdresser friends because they every day get to talk to people that are so hurting. And if they had something like the patch that could really help people, I think it'd be a blessing. So let me see what questions we have in here so we can answer them. Do any of you have any questions? Let's see here. Yep. Okay. Got that. Telegram. I write up everything. Jill, you're funny. She's hilarious. I write up everything in my son just bought a motorcycle. He's in LifeWave. He said, I'm writing it off, Mom. He said, I'm going to be going to all these classes that I go to, these fitness classes. I'll be patching these ladies with their hips are hurting. He said, I'm riding my motorcycle to class. I said, okay.
I know
I
you
have a
guys are ready for
question.
this conversation yet, but I can definitely save you money on not paying taxes lawfully the right way, and you can make even more money. And
Yeah.
trust
Yeah,
me, it's the true law of the land, but that's a whole nother show, whole nother Zoom.
let's do that. Let's do that sometimes too. But this is also, I mean, obviously is a step in the right direction for those
Yes.
that are just kind of been so trained about like those W-2 paid employees, right? So it's I always feel like we're kind of eating this elephant one bite at a time, right?
Yeah,
It's like
that's
you kinda-
right.
you
I had
come
a
into
quick
it, you-
question.
Go ahead.
I signed up and I just went ahead and did it because I knew I was going to, but there is not an automatic auto ship, correct?
No, there is if you want it, but you
If
don't
you
have
want
to
it.
have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
you-
that's why this is going to be so successful, I think, too. It gives people, there's no pressure on that. Oh my God, I've got to go through 30 cases of something every month. And
Yeah.
even if it's good, I mean, I think that's one of the things that I really went with whoever it was on chat. By the way, the people online are fabulous. They're kind. They're immediate and so pleasant. And I'm just going to ask this one more time because I want to and it was delightful to sign up because I couldn't connect with you, Madison and Heidi. The timing was off. So anyway, I just wanted to triple verify that because I think that's one of the really great new business models to give people a chance to say, okay, so I'm not going to store it up in my garage like, an aloe vera drink or something. So
absolutely. And I also like that, you can set up your smart chip. I always think it's a convenience once you know what patches you love, right? Because I have people calling me, I'm not kidding, every day, and they're like, Renita, I forgot to set up auto ship and now I'm out. And so then they're panicking, right? So I get these panicky phone calls, at least probably 1 to 4 times a day. And I always don't have product to sell. Like many times I do, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I run low myself, depending on, when my auto ship is coming. And so for me, I always say it's actually convenient to the person. Once they're running out and panicking, because then they're Eon patches on because they're so darn stressed out. But truth be told, get your product, see which patches you love, right? Like try it out. Like maybe you say, oh my gosh, I love this ice wave. I can think of like 10 friends that I want to go patch with this. I'm going to need to order extra of this. And then if you want to go back in and order at that time or set up your smart chip, you certainly can. So yeah, it's awesome. It's easy. I love it.
Kenneth is saying, I'm trying to purchase the X39. Oh, whoops. X49. He's having a hard time with the site.
Okay. What does he want to tell? What, how can we help him?
Yeah. What are you having a hard time with? And then is there a document with notes, no contractions?
Oh, so it's just kind of no, really, there's nothing because it's light. Remember, there's no chemicals, there's no medications, there's nothing happening with a transdermal. There's nothing transdermal happening. In fact, it was funny because when the WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association, tested the patch, they're like, well, there's nothing in it. Like that's illegal. Like they were looking for illegal substances. You know what I'm saying? And remember, the patch itself doesn't go through stomach, liver, or kidneys. That's what makes it so different. Think about how many people's stomach, liver, and kidneys are in tough shape, right? You don't have to raise your hand. I know a lot of you are because of age. Age, it's leaky gut, it's got dysbiosis, it's, fatty liver, it's stage 1, 2, 3 kidney damage. Like, so all this stuff is true, but the beautiful thing with the patch, you guys, it doesn't have to go through those organ systems, which makes it so phenom. I'm not real. Can someone call him? Can you help him, Heidi, when he's done? God bless you, Lisa Marie.
Yes. And then someone just said, let's see, on their hormones, can they wear the carnosine? I'm saying it wrong. Because I can't. I don't have my glasses on. So more than 3 times a week with their hormone. Can you see it?
Yeah, they can. You can wear carnosine. Here's what I tell you. Like they say you can do it 3 times a week. With my mom, sometimes I put it on every single day of the week. It helps her posture. It's crazy. And so it really helps with the brain, heart, kidneys, all the way down to the tips of the toes. Carnosine patch is actually I'll just tell you, I think it's like my second favorite patch. Like it is, because it feels, when you put it on, I wouldn't start with the glutathione with everybody because their systems may not be strong enough to handle the glutathione. And remember, the X39 stem cell activation patch will naturally increase your glutathione 30%. Just the X39 will do that. Now our glutathione patch will increase at 300% in 24 hours. But I'll tell you, 300% in 24 hours for some people, if they're pretty toxic, is too much. It's too fast. So just start with X39. But like David Schmidt said to me with my mom, you know, we're dealing with somebody who's 77, a little bit more frail. He said, Renita, try the carnosine. He said, we'll give her a strengthening. It might be a slight detox. He said, but it'd be much more strengthening than anything. And when I did that, I actually had mom on X39, 49, and we added the carnosine. And I did that for probably 9-10 full months before I even added the glutathione. And I did that because I wanted her to be strong, right? Yeah. So that when I put the glutathione on her, it wasn't going to be a shock to her system. So
someone asked, do you have a preferred way for the doctors in your doctor's offices to buy? Is there a preferred way for them, or is it just the same?
Yep, they just sign up as a brand partner. And then I suppose according to what specialty doctor I'm dealing with, like I deal with eye doctors, I deal with heart doctors, I deal with, you know, all kinds of chiropractors. I deal with all kinds of doctors. So depending on what they're specializing in, some of those doctors say, I definitely like my chiropractors. They love X39 and 49, right? X39 stem cells, X49 bone density and blood flow, but they also love Ice Wave. Because people are coming to chiropractors sometimes because they have pain, just like my massage therapist, they love Ice Wave. Right. Yeah. And so it's kind of dependent to answer that question on what kind of doctor they are or what their kind of specialty is, you know, but you can help them customize their kit. You know, there's that one page flyer at startx39now.com that has all the patches on one page and what each one of them does. So you can share that with your doctor friends and let them decide what they want to customize their kit. So there's that number. If that the gentleman wants to call Heidi, we should tell him that he can call her. Heidi can walk him through. Yep. She's so handy. Okay. Yeah. Is there an app where I can get info on what patches to use for different issues? Again, Jill, did you go to startx39now.com? I can't. Did you say yes?
I didn't. Did you?
Okay. Did you scroll down and click on the one page flyer and watch the 10-minute overview of David Schmidt explaining all the patches? I think she says, I have seen that. I'm trying to read her lips. Unmute yourself, Jill.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. There you are.
Yes, I did. And I sent it to my mom as well.
Awesome. And one other place that I haven't showed you yet of what is really good is I'm gonna go to actually the YouTube channel. Did I show you that last time I was with you guys? I can't remember. I'm sorry. I do so many meetings.
I can't remember. I don't think.
Let me just show it again, just because I always think repetition is good for the developing mind. So if I go to YouTube and I just type in LifeWave Health all together, there's no space. Okay. Let me see. Can you guys, let me screen share here with you. Screen share. Here it is. So if I go to LifeWave Health, it looks like this right here. Look at it. I'll click on it so you can know. I just went to YouTube and I typed in, look at LifeWave Health all together, no spaces. See that? And then on there, look, check this out. 1.3 thousand videos. Jill, have you got through those yet? This will teach you something. So yeah. You know what I did is like when I started and I realized I had access to this thing. So first thing I did is I started watching these great little short videos, right? Because they just were encouraging 2 minutes and 57 seconds, right? All these are fantastic, but I scroll down to where it says LifeWave Connect product webinars. See that?
Yeah.
Write that down in your brain because this is all David Schmidt. Every one of these is David Schmidt, and he goes through like one patch on that. So I made the commitment. I'd get ready in the morning and I'd push the play button on the LifeWave Connects. And I would just educate myself while I was getting dressed. And it was like gold. I mean, some of them I would get off and I'd be like, holy cow, I need to go tell these 7 people about the carnosine patch because I did not know what I just learned. Right? So knowledge is power. Don't feel like you have to know it all to begin. But if you put your toe in the water and you say, I need more, just go click on one of these, right? It's called, they're all called LifeWave Connect product webinars, and they're all David. They're all David, okay? And then this is the business webinars where this is more corporate training for business, but you'll learn some good things on there too. I always feel like, you know, with resources, just, it's like a buffet. If you say, I hate that, well, don't use it then. You know what I mean? If you say, oh, I love that tool. And also, if you haven't downloaded the free app, remember it's called In Touch app. LifeWave In Touch app. It's free once you're a brand partner. So you can download that In Touch app. By next time, when I ask you all, if you all have the LifeWave In Touch app downloaded, you all got to say, yeah, I hope you go do it if you haven't done it yet. Okay.
I already downloaded
now, In Touch.
I already downloaded the app on my iPhone. So.
Okay, perfect. And you can send over videos from the app, or it's got a nice It's got a couple nice flyers in there, like a side by side of comparing X39 and 49. So you don't have to explain it. You can just text over the flyer, you know? So here's what you do when you first open that app, start texting things like to your mom, your sister, your kids, you know what I mean? Because, and then go to your kids' phone and grab it so you know what they got.
Yeah.
And see that I'm a person like that. Like I'm a researcher where I'm like, I'm going to follow the rabbit down the hole to see where it leads. Right. And so once you start doing that, you're like, oh my gosh, this is really incredible that I have access to this free app. So you'll love it if you haven't used it yet. So try. And then look what you're sending. Text it to yourself so you know what's coming up. You know?
Yeah.
All right. That's enough for tonight. Do you guys have any questions? I feel like that was a lot.
No, thank you so much. I love your.
Kenneth Akey, MD. Can you unmute him? Hello. Hi, Kenneth. I can't hear him yet. Maybe lean forward. Talk some more. Oh, nope, I still can't hear him. Let me see what's going on there. Can you turn up the volume on your computer? Do you have on the top of your computer, do you have it looks like a microphone, like right above the 8 on your keyboard, like right above it is a plus for microphone. Go up, 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 up. Oh, now you're muted again.
Okay, how about now?
I can hear you now. Yay, good job, good job. I love it.
Well, I'm when it comes to this computer stuff, I'm really lacking in that area, but I'm trying.
I love it. Oh, that was Kenneth Gilpin. I thought it was Kenneth Akey. We'll hear from you next. Kenneth, you can figure yours out. I want to hear from, oh, now he got his. Okay, Kenneth Gilpin, you go first. Tell me what you need. How can I help you?
I'm trying. I've got a screen up that says one-click order. It's got my address. I want to buy one X39, X49 performance bundle and ship it to my address. And then it's got enter CVV. What is CVV?
Oh, the CVV is your code on the back of your credit card. The CVV code. But you know what, Kenneth? You know what? Can I have Heidi call you as soon as this is done and help you? Because I want to make sure you're signing up appropriately and getting the best. What's your number, Kenneth?
850
850
730